tea.
Yes. Hi guys.
Hey everyone.
Welcome back for another week of Table Talk with Lish and Lou. And this week we have some just stuff to talk about. As you can see, there's no alcoholic beverages this week. We have no drinks this week. We have decided to make a shift. And a shift is going to be that we are no longer going to have a drink, like a surprise drink here. We're going to Make a Drink with Lish and Lou. Yeah. So we're going to do like another series called Make a Drink with Lish and Lou, and we're going to make all the drinks from the previous episodes, but also new drinks. So we're going to do that, and that's going to be like another series as part of Lish and Lou. And we're going to do some other...
They still will collab with our topics.
Yes, they will definitely go with our topics, and we will be drinking in some episodes, but they won't be like surprise drinks. They'll be like, oh, we're drinking this, which we made in the last episode of Have a Drink with Lish and Lou. Or, yeah, so that's it. So actually... we have a sponsor today.
Do we?
Dang, we're already on sponsors, yes. So this week's episode
That's exciting.
is sponsored by, ready, drum roll, Mind Your Beeswax. So, do you want to tell me about Mind Your Beeswax?
So, Mind Your Beeswax started with me stepping into my esthetician bag, doing body waxing, and then foregoing that and moving the shift into yoni care, so holistic vaginal care, which is something I'm very big on. So I sell yoni products, I do yoni steaming, and still all about that skincare. So my soaps are still mild and very nourishing to the skin.
And the vagina.
Yeah, and the vajayjay.
Speaking of vaginas, did you watch the last episode? I think that was like our favorite episode to record, the Coochie Conversations.
Yeah, Coochie kind of stores. So I still need to post the materials that you need to look for your toys and cups and menstrual cups.
All of that. Oh my God. So I'm like already going off topic, but have you seen the Instagram post where the lady talks about using menstrual fluid to water your plants?
No.
Yes. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you after this. Because I was like, someone sent this to me, and I was like, a friend, which is one of the things we're gonna be talking about today, friends. A friend sent it to me, and I was like, but wait, like, how am I supposed to collect? Like, it was literally, the girl had like plants all over the house, and she was like, just like walking up and pouring.
Oh, I don't even like, how sanitary is
that? What does your house smell like? How are you collecting?
I have so many questions.
Yes, and to have a whole like
picture,
you know what I mean? So I'll send it. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I'll send it to you. And you know what? If I find it, I'm gonna post the link in this in the description of this video. Because
maybe let me not be so grossed out. Maybe
no, I'm grossed out. I was grossed out. So
and I'll learn more about it.
How did Instagram just let this
approve it?
So yeah. So one of our sponsors is Mind Your Beeswax. Mind Your Beeswax. Mm-hmm. Our second sponsor is MP Trust Treats, where you can get all your satin hair accessories, bonnets, scarves, satin line shower bonnets to keep your hair lasting longer between wash days. We should. We'll do another episode where we talk about
pajama day.
Yes, like a little sleepover.
Yeah.
And that's at Magic. Yes. Keeping you magical. So what do we...
You ready to tap into it?
Yeah, so wait. We talked about our changes.
Yeah.
We're going to be shifting a little bit. Because we also want to, like, spend more time going over the drink. And, yeah, like, we want to spend more time going over the drink, showing you the ingredients. And I feel like when we do it here, like, the time is limited. Right. Yeah, so if we have a whole little segment on making the drink, you get the whole experience. You get, like, us spilling stuff, us, muddling, all the whole drink experience.
You get the bloopers.
Yes, because there's a lot. There is a lot when we make drinks. So this is what we're talking about, friends. What about your friends? So.
Will they stand their ground? Will they keep you down? Yeah.
Do they? do they?
The ones that I have family. My family holds me down. My friends are just a little closer than associates.
Okay, so would you say like you have like 3 categories? You have like associates, friends, and family?
Yeah.
Okay. And what makes someone family?
Family, I feel like, are those friends, they've been with you. Sometimes they don't necessarily even have to have been around for years or whatever, but they're the ones who, like, you wouldn't doubt, you wouldn't second guess. Like, or if y'all did have a falling out, there would be no love lost. Like, you would, you know, you get into it with your siblings all the time, but you dare somebody else to get into it with your sibling.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's going to be a problem, and that's how I feel family is. Friends are people who you care about, you never want to see, you know, go down the wrong way, wrong paths. You never want to see nothing traumatic happen to them. But they're just not as close as family.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't necessarily tell them certain things, you know, those deep, dark secrets. You wouldn't tell them at all. And they're also, and then sometimes you just have friends that are just for certain things.
Yeah.
Like you might have like your party group of friends.
Mm-hmm.
You might have like, you know, your work friends. You might have your church friends. Like, you know, just certain, you don't do certain things with certain people all the time. So those are friends. Associates are just someone I more so feel like you're cordial with because of whatever environment you all have to share together. But yeah.
So do you think that you can have someone can be your associate for like 25 years? They haven't moved categories?
Because if I worked at a job for 25 years, a corporate job for 25 years, I'm not telling Bartholomew all my business.
Yeah.
But if I see him at the Christmas party, I'm be like, hey, Bartholomew, want a cup of eggnog? Like, you know, but Bartholomew probably won't ever be invited to the birthday parties or the baby showers or nothing like that, you know?
Yeah, so he's an acquaintance. I have acquaintances that I've known for like 10, 12 years. And I mean, they're outside of work and we hang out sometimes, but they're still in that acquaintance category because I feel like our conversations are very superficial. And it's like, oh, how are you? What's going on with the family? Yeah. There's nothing like I can't tell you a secret because it's going to be on the 5 o'clock news. Yeah. If I tell you that secret. So,
they don't have no reason to have loyalty to you.
No.
So that's why they can stay, you know, associates, acquaintances, you know.
So
stay there.
So that's what bumps you up from an acquaintance to a friend is loyalty.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about doing things with certain groups. Do you ever feel like some groups get mad? Like someone gets mad like because they weren't invited to do that thing with that group, but even though like they're not like a part of that group, you know, like, oh, it's my birthday, I'm gonna have a birthday dinner, but I'm only inviting like this group, and then you have someone that's like,
yeah, that's when people don't know their role.
They're like really hurt.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah.
Because not like that, your friends you go out and like party with, you're probably not gonna invite to your child's baptism.
Yeah.
You know, like unless your party friend is also family.
Yeah.
So if somebody takes up multiple categories, then I can see. But if they're really just stuck in that one category, then, you know, even if y'all been doing it for a while, they might feel a type of way. But you gotta know their role.
Definitely. So with knowing your role as a friend, I think that's one of the, how can I say, a part of like being a friend is like, you know your role and you, almost like you accept, like this is our relationship. Like we're not that tight. Like we're cool. Like we can go have brunch. We can go have dinner. But I may not be invited to your wedding.
Yes, and I do feel like sometimes those things happen when you mix friends. Like if I have a family member who has a friend who they might be brunching with, but we just also happen to go to brunch together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not expecting from now on to be invited to that friend's anything.
Yeah.
You know, even though we all might have meshed well, laughed, joked, or whatever, it's still like, that's my friend's friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not necessarily my friend. Now, sometimes things get a little weird when you might start getting a little closer to friends you met through friends.
I mean, that does get weird, because then what happens to that other friend? Do they feel...
Then they feel like they're the one that's left out.
Yeah. But then, like, sometimes you just mesh well with other people.
And I think that that's a good thing.
Yeah. And, yeah, I mean...
But I feel like I've been encountering a lot of different groups.
Yeah.
And I think it's also just like a different maturity level.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. I got a lot to say, and I'm trying to preserve it. You know, I don't want to give it all away, but you know, shit happens.
Yeah,
it ain't shame.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get it. I definitely understand. It's like we want to be open and transparent, but also like, you know, sometimes people get their feelings hurt, and then like, are you talking about me? And it's like, no, I'm not talking, like, you know, so.
No, because you're not the only person I know that might do what it is that we're talking about.
Like, what just happened? Something had just happened to me recently, like that. Like, are you talking about me? Like, no one's thinking about you. But, okay. So.
The question is why you feel guilty.
Yes.
You know? Why you feel attacked? What do you do that I don't know about to where you feel attacked?
Okay, so speaking of attack, and speaking of girlfriends, and girls like your circles, and okay, so do you remember that story with what was her, I think it was something Robinson. Her last name was Robinson. She went to Cabo with her friends and they beat her up.
Oh yeah. I forgot her name. Dang,
I forgot her first name, but her last name was Robinson. I do remember that.
Yeah.
But friends, acquaintances, like
I can't remember now, but I feel like these are people who she met like low key kind of recently at that time. I don't think they were friends that she's known for a while or been anywhere with. So I don't remember.
And so so they went on a girls trip, and there was a couple dudes there, which still wasn't really a girls trip, but do you call it a girls trip because the dudes were gay? Like, do they feel like, anyway?
But sometimes they consider themselves the grills.
So girls trips. Have you ever done girls trips?
Yes. And to be honest, I'm quite sick of them.
Okay, wait. Are you sick of them because you want to do trips with other people? Are you sick of them because you want to do solo trips? Are you just sick of girls trips?
I'm just sick of girls trips because I want to go on a vacation.
Okay.
You know, like, I love my girls. I always feel like we have a great time. I'm also a part of a women's traveling group, so it's dope to meet other women, different walks of lives, some more mature in age, like just learning, you know. But I would like to go on a vacation because I feel like I would relax more. Like, it's just certain things you get in a companionship, even if it's not a serious relationship. Like, it's a different type of relaxation, not necessarily partaking in intimacy or anything like that, but I do feel like it's relaxing when you're on girls trip. It's like, okay, so what are we doing next? You know, like, it's not always as much downtime, and I think I just really want to go on a vacation that has more downtime than anything. You know, like, I can enjoy the scenery, but also I can, you know, chill. You know, not
have you ever been on a vacation?
No, never.
Okay, we'll talk about that another time. Because right now we're talking about friends and girls trips, and so
that whole feminine energy.
What was the best girls trip experience you had?
The best girls trip experience I had, I actually have two. Okay. I feel like they were equally dope. The first was my first time going to New York with two of my close friends, and that trip just held so many iconic hilarious moments, and we met some friends and are still all friends to this day.
Yeah.
Like, still talk to these guys, and it was just a really dope experience. To where, like, sometimes they even come out our way, and when they come out here, we, hang out with them, they check in or whatever. So that was really dope. It just, that trip just really had a lot of fun memories in it. And it was like more on the whim than anything. It wasn't planned out.
Yeah.
Like us going, one of us that went it was planned out with two of her other friends or two of her other associates. And then my friend and I, she invited my other friend and I, and so we tagged in it, and we ended up having a really good time. The second trip was, I was with my two besties, who are my best friends from different times in adolescence and like being a kid. So my middle school best friend, and then like my high school best friend. So went to Cabo for my middle school best friend's birthday, and that just was it was just fun.
Yeah.
It was all our first time. Well, not, my bestie Noodle. It wasn't her first time out the country, but it was like, the first time we got to use our passports, and like, it was just wild and fun. That trip too has some really dope memories and, like, iconic laughs. So yeah. What about you?
Have I done girls trips?
Have you done girls trips, and what's your favorite one?
I've done girls trips. Probably New York, or like a cruise. I did a cruise with my girlfriend.
Okay.
And the same girlfriend I went to New York with, we did a cruise to like an Ensenada cruise.
Okay.
And have you ever that's what we should do. Yeah.
I've been on a cruise for my one of my really good friends. Her she's friendly, but her wedding. We did a cruise for her wedding.
Oh, that's
and
fun.
that was my very first cruise. I took my mom and Legacy, and that had good moments too.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was good. We had a good time. I mean, but it's always better to talk about the worst girls trips. So I'm gonna talk about that. So I did a girls trip to Vegas. I feel like Vegas girls trips are like the worst. Why is that?
Because we try to be like the boys and be like Hangover, and it's just not the same because we just look goofy.
I did a girls trip to Vegas, and I am not like, I'm not bougie. I do like nice things. Went on this girls trip, and it just, it was just like the ghetto shit, like 4 girls in like the room, and granted we were younger.
Yeah.
Like now, like that would not slide unless it's like a suite, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
everybody have their own corner.
Right, like we had like a roll out bed and like shit like that, right? And so this is the part that the nail in the coffin. I'm a grown woman, right?
Yeah.
Like I have, enough money to do the things that I like to do. So I'm with these girls. We're cute. We're ready to go to the club. They want to take the bus, right? The Deuce that's in Vegas, the bus called the Deuce. I'm like, why can't we just take a taxi? Like, it's $10. Like, why? Well, because we bought tickets for the Deuce earlier today. Do you see how we look, right? Like, we're in club, like, we're like 20, 3-year-olds in like club, like, no, I'll pay for the taxi, sweetheart. Like, no, I want to take the Deuce. So we take the Deuce. That's when the night just like, because I'm talking shit the whole night. Like, really? This is what we're doing?
Gosh,
like, this is we're taking the Deuce. It just ended up bad after that, like the night. And you know what? And I never talked to them again. Like, after that. Like, I've seen them, I'm just like, and that was like 15 years ago. And that left an impression.
You boys still have me on the Deuce.
Yes, because I'm like, I'll pay for the taxi. Like, it's $10.
Yeah.
Even if it's $25. Like,
yeah.
I'm not riding the bus.
Yeah.
So needless to say, we took a taxi back home after the club. But, but girls trips. I mean, like, how long should you do a girls trip? What's the longest you would do a girls trip? Would you do like
I think 4 days is the max.
Four
I think
days?
I think anything over 4 days, like people just start to get agitated with each other
Mm-hmm.
and running out of things to do.
Yeah, but what if it's like a European trip where like you're there for like
And when
3
you're
weeks?
doing like 3 weeks, I mean, I hope you have like a billion tours set up. I need to go see all the museums.
Mhm.
If I feel like if there's things to keep rolling, but if it's just like, okay, what party we going to every night? Like,
Yeah.
that's played out. I wouldn't even do that at home. Like, you know, I'm not even out at home every weekend, so I dang sure don't want to go to a club for 3 days. I mean, 3 weeks straight. But I think out the country is so much more to see.
Yeah.
So go explore that, but because that's more of a learning experience than a vacation, really, I would think.
Yeah.
You know, or it can be a duo. But yeah.
Yeah. So in this episode we are talking about friends and the value. I mean, I did want to touch on like the value of like good friends
Mm-hmm.
and I mean friends, family, acquaintances, and how valuable good friendships are. But like also like a good friend knows like when you need them, but also knows when you're like, I need my space.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not gonna be like, oh my god,
Offended.
she doesn't want to talk to me.
Mhm.
And it's like, no, like this is bigger than you. I got like, you know, like you're my friend and I love you, but I got my own shit going on, and you know, like
Yeah.
we just need to
I was having this conversation with one of our
break up for a little bit.
sisters the other day. Like, your friends just knowing, even by the tone of your voice, like you're okay. Whether you try to say it dry or whether you try to say it fake perked up,
Yeah.
they be like, yeah, no, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
You know, like they just know, or
Yeah.
they'd be like, you know, let's go. We need to go do this, which
Yeah.
is low key how we ended up in New York for that really great girls trip that I was telling you guys about. Was going through some stuff, and they were like, no, you're going.
Yeah.
You know, and so like those type of friends are 1 in a million.
They really are. Everybody doesn't have those those types of friends. And like you have like a lot of like superficial relationships to where not you, but like, you know, to where you're like, I need somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't find anybody, but you know, I get all these texts like, let me know if you need me, and I'm like, okay, I need you right now.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, but
the hamster just died.
I'm busy, and you know, I can't do it. Like, I'm like, do you know how many friends I've dropped stuff for because they said, you know, I need to talk to somebody, I need to do this, and I'm like, okay, do you need to take off work today? Like, and then, but then it's not reciprocated, right? You're like, but I'm sitting here freaking shaking in the corner. Like, and I call you, this person that who I dropped everything for, and they're like, oh, but yeah, it's, you know, I can't do it today. How about next week? Like, and just like, no.
Another dope characteristic about those type of friends are like how you say you sometimes you just need that space, and they're okay with needing, you know, knowing that you need that space and to not, you know, be in your face. I can appreciate those friends as well. Or they just know you in a part of your life where that friendship may pause. I've experienced that as well. You know, I think I talked about it before, but I have a group of guy friends that I'm very close with, and I'm used to being the only girl when I'm with them at times. And I did a disappearing act on them because of the relationship I was in, and no one like ganged up on me. Nobody talked crazy to me about it, you know. But then when I came back it was like nothing never happened.
Yeah.
You know, and then, I mean, we've had our conversations about it, you know, as a group and individually with me and them. And they just like, you know, we understood, but we had to let you go through that, you know, and we were just going to be here when you got back. So I appreciate those friendships as well. Because I do feel like that's part of the, you know, allowing me to have my space in my moment and not making me feel, you know, like a butt about it.
Yeah. Yeah, what about needy friends?
I don't think I've had some. I've had plenty, and when it starts to disrupt my mental space, I have to remove myself, because sometimes those needy friends don't realize how draining they are. Because you always have to come to their rescue and save them, and then you don't have nothing left for yourself. No. So it's hard, or you're so worried about their situation that other things start to get pushed to the wayside. So, needy friends, I had to just learn how to reserve my mental space. Yeah. Even prepare for that friend. Like I know I'm gonna see her today, so let me prepare to know how to tune her out a little bit.
That's so funny. Who was that? I was just talking to a friend, and he was like, "Yeah, I got this friend that I got a freaking every time I get with him, like I know I'm gonna need like 2 shots after because
it's gonna be so draining.
Yes, he's gonna take everything out of me. So I know, like, all right, I'm gonna know, like, I'm giving him some time, but then after I'm gonna have to go and have me some drinks. Yeah. So, yeah. What about do you hype your friends?
Oh, most definitely. I am the hype man, the DJ, the background singers, and the dancers. Okay, yes. Like I am gonna gas all my friends, but I'm also gonna be very honest as well. Yeah. But if I think it's brilliant, I'm gonna remind you how brilliant it is every time I see you. Like I'm gonna make sure you understand your value and what you bring to the table in any atmosphere. So. Yeah, call me Petro.
Yes, we do need. I think that's another thing. Like, we have too many friendships where we don't hype each other. Yes. But then also, like, genuinely hype each other. Because there are those friendships that, like, there is the hype woman, but she's full of shit. Right, but she basically her job is the hype woman. Yeah, but so
that's it comes off sarcastic.
Well, and she's not loyal. No, it sounds genuine, but it's not genuine. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because she wants to have that role of I'm the hype woman, and for everybody to see her that way. But she's full of shit, right? Yeah. She's not her only role in your friendship is to hype you, but. Don't tell her no secrets when she's hyping you.
But you know what I've also experienced are people who even can be the closest to you, but want to, they can never give the compliment. Mm-hmm. Like, they can ask you where you got. Yeah,
or because they just can't.
They can ask you where you got something. They can ask you. They could say, they can't say, hey, that's a nice bag. It'll be where you get that bag. Yeah. Oh, I like your hair. They won't say, oh, your hair looks nice, but they'll show up with the hairstyle. Yeah. It's those friends you have to work. I don't know. And sometimes I've witnessed it with friends that are supposed to be really, 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 really close. Mm-hmm. So it's just, I don't know, it's weird because I feel like you should always gas your friends, especially the ones closest to you. So if I'm like, ooh, Alicia, come on, I feel like I always tell you how you got perfect teeth and the best smile. You know what I'm saying? I'm never going to be like, so who's your dentist? You wouldn't know where to take it.
I don't go. I haven't been because every time I go, they're like, oh, you need this, you need that. I feel like the dentist is a scam. I do. I haven't gone to the dentist in 6 years, right? So I go and she's like, oh, you need a crown or whatever, which, not going in 6 years.
I would never know. I would think you go every
No, because I'm traumatized because of my last visit 6 years ago. I left there crying, so I'm like, I'm never going back. So I was like, all right, it's been 6 years. Let me go. And then I had to get a crown, and then I was crying again. And yeah, so I don't do the dentist. But you gotta have your friends. But I think also sometimes people don't know how to compliment other people. Not because they're not thinking it in their head. They just don't know how to verbalize that. They just don't know how to say oh, your outfit is cute, or oh, they're just oh, in their head they're like, oh, that was cute. And then they're it's oh yeah. They just don't know how to do that. But you said something earlier about you're also honest with your friends.
Yeah.
Right? Which is huge because, like, how are you going to grow as a person if everyone's always like, yes, man,
if I don't like something, I'm going to tell you I don't like it.
Yeah.
If the dress you have on is not very becoming, like, I'm going to let you know. If it's a booger in your nose, I'm going to let you know.
Please.
Like,
okay, so speaking of nose, luncheon. she just waxed my nose hairs because
you had to get them.
I be having the long nose hairs.
the deacon nose hairs.
Yes, and so I'm fresh and clean now. So I will no longer be having boogers. So she don't even have to tell me because oh my God, I swear, like I always have a booger, and it might not even be. It's not a booger. But it's like, like you just have some shit in your nose and you're like, this person was talking to me for an hour and did not tell me I had shit in my nose. But guess what? I'm not going to have no shit in my nose anymore.
Period.
So,
it's a wrap.
Yes. So you do need friends that are honest with it. Especially like, I mean, even if you don't want to hear it, because it's it's going to help you grow. But also like, the honesty has to be like, don't just tell me something like that you feel like a type of way. Like you think, I don't know, some shit like you're like, oh, I don't like your hair. It's my hair. You know what I mean? So like not that type of honesty, like, cause I didn't ask your opinion on my hair.
Yeah.
But like you said, like if you're wearing a white dress and I see all your goodies, like, you as a friend, you just want to be like, oh, you might need
it's a little sheer, right?
Did
they use tools only to make it?
like that type of stuff. Not, I don't know if the term is like objective or subjective, but I guess objective honesty, maybe. Is it? I don't know.
Let's Google it.
The term. I always have to Google it. And every time I Google it, I write it down. I'll be like, objective, subjective. What is objective? What is subjective? So, also with friends, accountability partners. Do you think you should have an accountability partner?
I feel like all your friends are.
Are they? Like, let me rephrase this. Okay, so you have some goals, right? And you're like, every morning I want to get up at 4:00.
Mm-hmm.
I need a friend that's gonna be there to help me wake up every morning at 4:00 so I can get started on my goals. Do you? And this is almost like a little different. I feel like this should go into like another episode, but do you believe like you should have like a friend that's like your accountability partner like that, or like you should just get your ass up at 4:00 with or without your friend?
I mean, you should, but the bloopers.
Excuse me.
I feel like you should get up on your own, but it is dope when someone cares enough to make sure you're on task, especially if that's gonna push you. Like, I know if I want to stay on my workout regimen, I'll hit up my friend Shatira.
Yeah.
Like, cause she's gonna be like, hey Lou, did you get it in today? Or I'm gonna go do mine. Like, let's just do it at the same time. Like, get it out the way. I know if I need to get up out the bed, I need to text Alicia. Like, if I want to make sure I'm on top of like business stuff, I'll hit up my homegirl Ronnie, because she's gonna be like, okay Lou, so you said you was gonna do this by this deadline. Like, I do have friends that are accountability partners, not all the way across the board. It might be just in different topics. Yeah. I don't know what I might be their accountability partner for. I think it just.
I'm sure it's the same thing. Or just hyping them. Too.
Yeah, or that brutal honesty. My mom always tell me, like, I don't know how you got friends. I be like, well,
because people want someone who's honest. People don't want like someone who's always like, yeah, that works.
I think because I need blunt straightforwardness. I think that's why I project that. Yeah. Because I don't like guessing or assuming. Like, I need to know exactly what it is and when it is. So I need, so maybe that's why I'm so bold with that tactic. Because I don't like leaving nothing in the air. Mm-hmm. If we got a problem, I'm going to be the one that's going to call you, like, so we got to, like, so what's the issue and how are we going to fix it? Are we going to fix it or we're not going to fix it? Like, I'm very much so for it. It gets me in a lot of arguments at times, but we be coming to the conclusion of, what it's going to be and what it's not going to be. Yeah. But I don't know. So maybe I'm the accountability on being addressing issues. Making sure things are addressed.
With friends, did you hear Rick Ross had a IG post about friends?
No.
And how friends who don't like your social media posts. And so, like, I've had an issue with this. Like, I've heard someone say, like, I know they were on my page and they didn't like my posts. And in my head, I'm like, who cares, right? Like, at the end of the day, like, who cares? Yeah. I think the issue is when your friend intentionally does not like your post.
Yeah, because
like,
then that means y'all have an issue. So
right,
again,
like, they're like,
what's the issue? Let's address it.
Yes. Like, I know you saw my post, and did you not like my post? Because you did not like my post, like, you know. So
because you didn't like it, or because we beefing?
Yeah, like, or you just like, I don't want her to have that extra like. You know what I mean? Like,
then that also goes back to like having those friends who, you know, either gas you or don't, or, you know, like, might be a little envious of things because, like, again, I could sit there and say, oh, where'd you get that watch?
Yeah. And
go get it instead of telling you, hey, that's a nice watch. Where'd you get that? Because I'm also not that friend that's going to hold back. I don't even do it to strangers. If somebody be like, oh, I love your hair. Oh, yeah, girl, I did this and here's my card. Or those are cute shoes. Like, oh, yeah, I got them from such and such. Like, I don't hold back information. I'm not a gatekeeper. But I think that falls into the category of those friends who low-key is, like, undercover haters in that type of way.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree. And so when I saw his post, I started laughing because he was like, yeah, I be looking at these dudes and their posts I have like one like, and he's like, I know they friends is haters because you get one like, you know. And so I just started laughing because I was like, yeah, I wonder.
They're gonna blame it on the algorithm.
Yeah. Because, I mean,
I got 12 friends and you got 12 friends. You saw my dang post.
Yeah, right, exactly. You saw my post because I know because you saw my story.
Yeah.
So you saw,
you watched
saw
that,
my post. I saw this thing that I was talking about, like, you know, like, stop paying attention to the guy who constantly lurks on your stories, but like doesn't say anything. You know, and so I was like, yeah, I know guys like that.
Oh, I know a few. I know a few. They watch every
sometimes they heart your story
day
like,
and don't say nothing. And you got those ones who react to everything. You like,
yes, everything.
Go home, Roger.
So, okay, so I think we talked about friends stuff today. So is that it? Did you have anything you want to add about friends? Get you some good friends.
Yeah, get you some good friends. Friendship, like the base of a friendship is not always, or foundation of a friendship is not always the amount of time that you've been friends.
Not at all.
Not at all. Quality over quantity.
Yes, because I just broke up with a friend who I knew for 17 years, 18, 19. What year are we? 23?
Yeah.
19 years. Cause she's fucking crazy. Oops, sorry. I didn't mean cause she's, and I, you know, and the thing is I looked past her crazy, even though I question it sometimes.
Yeah.
But when she tripped on me, I was like, oh, like, we're not doing this, you know? So, so it's not about time, but also, like, with that, like, just cause you've known somebody so long, you don't got to put up with
their malarkey.
Right. Like, okay, this chapter's closed. I recently met someone that told me that it's okay to close chapters. So that chapter is closed in that friendship.
Period. Close the whole damn book.
Close chapters and be okay with opening new chapters.
Yeah, I think that's dope. But I think, why not? Like I said, I've been meeting and greeting a lot of new great people that I'm learning from, that, you know, so I
and you do, and I think
there's some people who you realize when you remove them, you know, you elevate.
You do. Mm-hmm. You absolutely do. So we are closing with, it's okay to close chapters.
Yeah, quality over quantity.
Absolutely.
Because also the amount of time you know someone does not determine how loyal you have to be to them either. Mm-hmm. If they're if there's no value there.
Right.
So,
No. So,
yes.
you guys, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for some. We're gonna be doing some like in nature with Lish and Lou.
Yes, we're gonna go outside, guys.
Yes, because
not that type of outside.
I mean, but we might be outside,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna be on
The
here.
birds and the bees.
Yes. So a little in nature, a little tree hugging, literally.
Yeah.
You
Maybe save a whale or two.
Yes. So we're gonna be outside a little in nature, a little have a drink with Lish and Lou. We're just expanding. We're pivoting. We're flowing through life. We're embracing our feminine energy, right?
Yes.
Because that's part of feminine energy is flowing. So yes. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Until next week.
Later.